God had given me a word about 2 years back to cover a certain pastor. And I was covering the pastor for a while, and I stopped going to the church, and for some reason, not intentionally, I stopped covering the pastor. So about 4 days ago, God put that back on my spirit to continue to cover him. And I didn't know why that dropped in my spirit, but yesterday I seen the reason why. See, we all have been to a place in our life that when we were deep in our sin, when we were living and going through warfare, or even when we was a child, someone covered us. That's the reason why we are here today, because of someone else's prayer. See, God make us intercessors because he trusts us and because of our faith that we have in him, and our job is to cover. I just seen a video on YouTube and the title said, "Don't give up on them." And when I seen that title, it literally just jumped in my spirit. I'm like, you know what? I have to make this video. And if I can put another word to that video, is do not move out of position. Do not move yourself out of position. And our job is to continue to cover, because you never know what your prayers will bring them out of. You've seen plenty times in the Bible when God was placing his judgment on the children of Israel, on Hezekiah, and on certain people. But when the prayers came and when they had a repentant heart, God literally removed his judgment. We don't know why God is having us covering certain people, but we need to make sure that we are standing in position. And listen, covering them does not mean that they have to have access to you, or that you have to be in a close proximity, but you pray without ceasing. You are an intercessor. You make sure that you are going to war when God tells you to go to war, because let me tell you something. Some people don't have people in their corner that's actually going to lift up in prayer, and God placed you to be that person. Some people need somebody to have a real heart for God to cover them, and that's why God called you to do it. They may not have anybody real that's covering them from the love of Christ, and that's why that's your job. No matter what the person may seem, even if they seem like they're not receiving your prayers, or you don't see a movement in your prayer, you pray without ceasing. You stay in your position. Don't get moved out of position because you don't understand why God is doing what you're doing, or because you even mad at the person because they're not changing. You stay in position, because God brought me back to praying for and covering that person. And yesterday I seen why. And I fell off my post, but now I am back as a watchman on the wall, and I am covering this pastor with the blood of Jesus. You guys have an amazing day. Don't give up on that person. And that does not mean that they have to have access to your spirit. Access to your person, but you cover in the spirit. You cover in the spirit, because remember, again, we are here because someone else's prayer, and we need to be that for somebody. We need to have that same grace and mercy and pay that forward for the next person, because we are intercessors and we are children of God. And it's not our job to know what God is doing. Our job is just to be obedient